Hey guys, long time no see. Hey guys, long time no see. Mr. Charlton here, aka Chris. It's been a long. I said that already. Hey everybody, Mr. Charlton here, aka Chris. It's been a long time since anyone's seen me on YouTube. Well, I moved away from Toronto. I'm currently living in sunny Australia. Got a job out here, so life took me in another direction. But been feeling the need to get out and get on YouTube and share my experiences, share the culture of Australia. So today, I'm going to bring to you some weird, funny Australian slang, I guess, different words they use. So to begin, uh, one of my favorite words, I guess, would have to be, I guess it'd be reckon. They always say, oh, I reckon, I reckon. It just means like I understand, like I get what you're hearing, but everybody is just like, oh, I reckon. And for the longest time, I would just use my normal terms from back home, like, oh yeah, I understand, but I've caught myself lately saying I reckon a lot. So I find it interesting how you just submerge yourself in a different culture and get all these different words and understand everything. Another word would be bogan. Uh, any guesses what a bogan is? It means a hillbilly or a redneck. So in Australia, if you have a, I don't know, if you don't have any teeth, if you just live a low life, you're a bogan. So there's lots of bogans out here. When you hear that term, just to be aware of all the hillbillies and the rednecks out here. So they find that word kind of entertaining, and everyone seems to be a bogan. Uh, Another word, so when you go to McDonald's, back home we call it Mickey D's, McDonald's, here it's called Macca's. So that was pretty interesting to me to see when I first came here. They didn't understand when I was saying, oh, where's Mickey D's? They call it Macca's. Even on some of the storefronts, it's literally called Macca's. So that's just interesting how they just kind of changed the whole name from what is known around the world. So I find that very interesting as well. Uh, what else? I'm just looking at my list here of different words. A chook. That's a funny word because I heard about, oh yeah, I need to go get a chook, or I have chooks at home, and I had no clue what they were talking about till someone told me a chook is a chicken. Don't ask me how they get the word chook from chicken, but you could go to a store, you go to restaurants, and they have half a chook, a quarter chook. So that's just very funny because I don't think we have any other names for chickens when we go to restaurants, but that's what they call them. Sorry about the noise out there, some birds out there. Also, if you get bitten by a mozzie, don't panic. It's just a mosquito. They call mozzies out here. They're called mozzies out here, not mosquitoes. They like to shorten everything in Australia, so it's weird. They shorten it and give it interesting, funny nicknames. But with that being said, back home we call air conditioning AC, but they call it aircon. Something I've just never understood, that a word that could be shortened even more, they make it longer. So that's just interesting. When I was here, I was saying, oh, AC's kind of cold today, and they didn't really get it. They called it aircon and kind of got laughed at, but I laugh at their words. So it's kind of a little back and forth joke that we have. Also, what we call cotton candy, they call fairy floss. Don't ask me where they get fairy floss from, but that's what it's called. You go to the stores and you see fairy floss. They don't really understand why we call it cotton candy. I explained to them, well, it looks like cotton just with a different color, but they just find that term where they just say, oh, it's fairy floss, and I still haven't really, I don't know, I still don't understand where that comes from, to tell you the truth. Another word, we call people crybabies. You're always crying, oh, stop whining. Here they're called whinges. So, if you're a person who complains a lot, they say, stop whinging, go drink a cup of cement. That's just meaning, toughen up, stop crying all the time. I find that word pretty funny myself. What else? Hell's Angels. We call them Hell's Angels back home, bike gangs. They're called bikies here. Not very intimidating to myself, but when you say you've seen some bikies, people do get very intimidated out here. I just find it a very soft term in comparison to us when we call the Hell's Angels, you know, to watch out for them. But here they're called the bikies, and it's kind of like a little baby term to me. I really couldn't see how anyone would be afraid of a bikie. What else? Oh, this is an interesting word for people coming over. Route. So, you know, if you're coming from another country, you might say, oh, what's the quickest route to get to a plaza or a mall or the beach? They might look at you weird here because route means sexual engagement. You know, you just want to have a quick route, so just like a one-night stand or something. So just be careful if you come here and you're asking for a route. Someone might be offended, someone might think you're hitting on them, so that's just something to look out for. As well, thongs. So girls wear thongs, G-strings, things of that nature. Here, thongs don't go on your ass, thongs go on your feet. So that was just something that I couldn't really grasp or didn't understand, because everyone was like, oh yeah, they had thongs on, they had thongs on. And I'm just like, man, they throw this word around so freely that I realized thongs are basically flip-flops or sandals. So just be careful when you're going into a store, ladies, and you're asking for a pair of thongs and they whip out some flip-flops on you. Don't be concerned that they're playing a joke on you. That's just what it is. Another word, breakfast. Breakfast out here isn't called breakfast. It's called brekkie. So you'll go to different restaurants and they'll say, oh, brekkie served from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. So that's just a fun term for me. Another interesting thing, Burger King is not Burger King out here. It is called Hungry Jack's. When I first got off the airplane and I was in the food court, I was looking around and I saw this familiar logo and I was like, Hungry Jack's, that's Burger King. Then you go up to the counter and they serve Whoppers, they serve basically everything that Burger King sells. It's just Hungry Jack's. So don't be concerned that they're ripping us off or just trying to blatantly steal Burger King's ideas. I think there is some past history there where, I don't know, I guess something was sold, but Hungry Jack's is Burger King, people. So just be aware for all the people who like Burger King. The afternoon, so people say have a good afternoon back home. Here it's have a good arvo. I don't know where that term really comes from, but yeah, it's just, how's your arvo going? And you just know it's afternoon. And the first time someone said that to me, I really didn't understand what they're saying. I just said, oh, it's going good. So that happens a lot to me here. I just hear terms or really don't understand them, and I just nod my head and smile, you know. And yeah, it's pretty funny. And then after, I might do my little Google search and figure out exactly what they're talking about. So it's been a learning curve over here. Another funny expression, I guess you'd say over here, is when people say the kangaroos are loose in the top attic. So basically that means someone's crazy. If you could really visualize it, a bunch of kangaroos hopping around in your head. So that's just a funny term that I learned when I was out here. I think that's all for today. I just wanted to do a short video for everybody. Might do a part 2 of Australian expressions and various statements. I just wanted to get a feel to how it is to be back on the camera. If you do like this video, please subscribe, please like, and I'll share some more of my journeys while I'm in Australia. Hope you like